Hello and welcome to more Animeniacs. I'm Devin, with me is Cody.
Hey everybody.
And we're continuing on with After School Dice Club. And episodes 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And watching this anime, we both agree this rekindled our love for board games.
It really did.
So if you're a board game fan, watch this anime, you will get an urge to play board games again.
You will, and you'll also probably pause to find out which ones you've played.
Yeah, we've been stopping, rewinding, and looking at the board games.
Yeah.
And though they're renamed for copyright reasons, most of them,
Yeah.
it's fun just because the box art's still the same. So if you know
yeah.
the box art, you know the game they're trying to reference.
Oh yeah.
And usually the name is somewhere close.
Oh yeah.
But I was surprised to see Arkham Horror there.
Mhm.
Werewolf was in there.
Yeah.
Locus.
What? And the Expedition were.
Yeah, there's the game that we play on the third episode is Expedition. I forget what they called it, but I believe the actual name of it is Expedition.
It looks like an interesting game.
Yeah. It's a card game where you collect gems by going... It's kind of like playing chicken.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like.
I have a closer game to that. It's the Dungeon Dice one.
I don't quite.
That's where you have to go through the floors of a dungeon with a party.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the dice one. Yeah, I remember buying a copy because you had my copy.
Yeah. You bought a lot of board games because I had a copy of it. And I was like, just come over to my place and play. You're like, no, I don't want to play this with other people than you. I want to try winning for once.
Well, the main reason I bought that one is single player. So
It's also single player,
Yeah.
yes. I picked up a few that are single player because it's hard to find people to play
Yeah.
with. I would like to actually go and find more single player board games.
yeah, that'd be fun.
I have 3 I can think of.
I only have one.
Anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
we're off topic.
Yep, whoops.
Back to the anime, guys, the show you're doing.
Yep.
Join us for our new section, Board Game Corner.
Board game corner. That's a good one.
Anyways, so episode 3, we get Miku, sorry.
Yeah.
A little backstory of her, where how she was bullied in middle school.
I think you were right the first time.
Miki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Severely bullied.
Severely bullied. And that's why she built up this, as long as I don't rely on others and I stay away from people, no one can hurt me
Yeah.
mentality. Which is a shame. That's how she got that like that. Bullying ruins lives.
It really does. Don't be a bully.
Yes. Or I'll come along. I was the anti-bully in my school, so if I saw you beating or picking on someone, I would step in for them.
Oh, you want a bully?
My favorite story is some kid was bullying this other kid and trying to shove them in a locker.
Oh.
And I walk up, shove the bully into the locker, like put a pen in where the lock's supposed to be so he can't get out. And then just kept walking like it was nothing.
Your time out.
Yeah, basically, it's like, you go and time out now. And my favorite quote from Ice Cream Sandwich is, "You're mean!" Just shove it in the locker. Alright.
Yeah.
So, we come to a series of events where Miku, helps this lady with her cat. Turns out this lady's going to be Io's sister, Sakura,
Yeah.
and they play a board game with her and her other friend, Mika.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's Mika.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
She's kind of like the rough, tumble, tomboy girl,
Yep.
and it intimidates the other 3 because they're like, wow, she's intense, and like,
Mm-hmm.
a person like this wouldn't enjoy board games. There's no way in hell this person plays board games as their spare time.
Yeah.
And she came over to play games, and she thought we were playing video games.
Nope.
No, we're playing board games. Okay, that's a flip on the script, but sure.
Okay, cool.
Explain the rules to Expedition, which is you go through each layer of the dungeon. There's 30 cards. 15 are treasure, 15 are hazards. There are 5 actual hazards, and if 2 hazards appear, the expedition ends.
Yeah.
So if like 2 snakes appear,
You're
anyone
done.
still exploring the dungeon loses all their treasure they gained.
And heads back home.
Yeah, with nothing, and anyone who left keeps their treasure. So the goal is to get as much treasure as possible without getting hit or sent back home with no treasure.
Yeah. And if you want to go home, you take your little piece.
Yeah.
And reveal it. All at the same time.
Yes. That way you can't. You have to do it at the same time. That way you can't be like, well, Bob backed out. I'm safe if I back out now. I like that method of you have to do it all at the same time.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, he backed out. I'm going to too. No. You do it at the same time.
Yeah.
That saves us from cheating.
Yes. So this comes down to basically Miku and Mika. I will not get names right, don't worry.
Yeah. When we first get introduced to Mika,
Good.
I don't like her at first.
I was like, there's gonna be a connection between
Yeah.
her and Miyu.
Yeah. And, just some of what she said to me, Mika, I was like, oh, I hate you, kinda.
Okay, what did she say that drew you off?
You're too meek.
Yes.
A little bit of bullying. And I'm like,
She's
okay.
like, if you're too meek, you're a target for bullies. You might as well walk around with a sign that says bully me.
I'm like,
And I was like, as harsh as that is, that's
kinda
not
true.
wrong.
yeah,
You do have to show some backbone to a bully.
yeah.
At the same time, we're past middle school. Bullying
Yeah,
shouldn't be that much of an issue anymore, but we live in a society.
Yeah. We live in a world where people can be jerks.
We have bullies even as adults.
Yes.
That's the dumbest thing I know.
Yeah.
And they're worse than the kid bullies. That's the other worst thing.
Yeah. It's true.
And just for the game, she does like to trash talk a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's part of the strategy is you try to like,
Psych them out.
yeah, psych them out, build them up. It's like, oh, you're really gonna back away? You could lose out on a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And try to get them to make not the best decisions in the world.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, though, it comes down to her and Miku.
Yeah.
Mika and Miku. And Mika backs away. Our shy Miku wins because the next card's like a huge treasure card, 17 points.
Yep.
All to her. I was
Yeah.
like, well, that changes the game, don't it?
Yeah. It's like, I concede victory to you.
Yeah. I love that they like considered that like she won. I was like, oh, she can keep going if she wants.
Nah, she won.
Really dumb to do that at the end when you already won, but she could be the idiot.
Yeah. But I like how we had another flashback with the bullies again,
Yeah.
because the way she was acting made Mika think. Miku.
She's like, I heard that her name before. They gave her her proper name. Mika is her last name. Kyoko
I think that's right, actually.
is her first name, but she doesn't like Kyoko doesn't like. Stick out, so
Yeah.
Mika loses.
Yeah.
And then she's like, Kyoko, Mika, Mad Dog, Mika.
And she's like, wait.
Wait, did you just call me what I think you called me?
And then we get another flashback to the bullies.
Yeah, and Mika actually was the one who saved Miku.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're picking on kids. Hmm?
Yeah. Don't you have anything better to do? Your mothers must be so proud.
I love that line.
Yeah.
Then they take off.
Yeah. Like, you're pissing me off. Take off.
So good.
And that's basically the episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
On to the next one, which is the student president and vice president of the student president needs
ideas.
Ideas for the festival. And the only person she can really rely on is Mia.
Oh, right, the
Glasses girl.
Midumi or yeah. That's not
Midori.
right. Midori, okay.
I think it's Midori or yeah.
No, it's Midori.
Yeah.
Good recall.
Thank you.
Medea.
And Medea is like, that's a weird name.
Whoops.
Parents were being very creative that day.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so Midori.
Yeah.
After she's like, we have a few backstory with her and like why she idolizes the student president. And he just wants to make a school full of smiles. He's actually kind of a nice, charming guy.
Yeah.
He's actually on the ball, even though he doesn't look or act it.
Yeah. Really good guy.
Really good guy. Worth going to bat for. That's why I never caught this girl's name. The pink-haired girl.
I like to say it's because her name's not worth but we're gonna see her, so we probably
she'll probably be back. And they kind of set her up as the rival.
Oh, I hate her so much.
Yeah, I don't hate her, but I guess I've dealt with that so many times that I'm just numb to it.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a sec. So the group is going to play board games at the shop as they usually do. And this girl comes in and basically like, Midori, I need your help. Stop playing your silly games and actually see your full potential. We have a history. We were in middle school together. I got you as president of middle school.
Yeah.
And we basically ran the school together. We can do that again if you just team up with me again.
Yeah.
And Midori's like, I don't want to do that. I didn't want to do that the first place. You talked me into it the first time and I regretted it, and now I'm not going to let you do it again.
She said this one thing that we're to you. I was like, can I take her out? Can I take her out?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, games have no worth.
Yes, that's like, there are a lot of people out there like that though, that look at board games and are like, it's just a silly game, right? There's no real meaning. It's just a pastime. And no, board games have a little more to them. I like to put them a little higher than a video game.
Yeah, because they require
but not by much.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm gonna say it's a very close draw, but I say board games, yes, they require imagination. You do need thought skills. Like you have to actually be strategic, cunning, clever.
Oh yeah.
Outwit your opponent, know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like there's some skills involved with it.
Oh yeah.
And they're also, as they put in this one, artworks.
Very true.
Yeah. Like when you look at a board game and you see like the card designs, like all the imagery, the board itself looks amazing.
Oh
and just European board games, I'm not going to say all board games, but European board games are way more imaginative and way more artistic.
Oh yeah.
Than your standard Monopoly, Clue, Game of Life.
Yeah, like Settlers of Catan is a good example.
Yes. And the imaginative, like we'll get into that right now, is every board game kind of sucks you into a world.
Oh yeah.
That's why I love them. They like whenever you crack open a board game, you basically are in that little world for about an hour and a half,
Yeah.
depending on how long the game is.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so we play a game that I am actually not familiar with.
Oh, I want to try it.
Six Niftus, I think is what they called it.
Yeah, probably.
But I don't know what it actually is, but it's a numbers game of sorts. It's played with cards only.
Yeah.
And how it works is you draw 4 cards at the start, which determine the row of cards.
Yeah.
And then each person gets a hand of cards, and you're trying to get rid of your hand.
Yeah, basically you don't, and there's like little pictures of cows at the top.
Yeah.
And you don't want cows.
No. Because how it works is when you play a number, every card is numbered 1 to 104, and you place your cards nearest to the closest number that's in play.
Yeah, for example, like 6, and then 7.
Yeah. So if there's a 6 on the board and you play 7, your 7 would go up by the 6. But if you played 42 and there's a 42 lower or 41 lower, your 42 would go down to that.
Oh,
row.
yeah.
And when there's 6 in a row, whoever plays the 6th card has to take the entire row. And the last card,
that's it.
last card played is now the new row.
I like how when they were playing this, she thought she was so clever.
Yeah, I love, this is standard. People who, start the game is like, oh yeah, I got the rules.
No,
I was like, you got the rules, but do you understand the strategy?
She did not.
No. She's like, oh, there's a 16 on the board, but I'll put so if I put my 17 down, it's safe because there's no other card in the row.
And then Midori's like,
See, I played a card that's lower than all the cards in the game.
I'll take that.
So I'll take that row and
her card it up at the last 6 cards.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, suck it.
And then the other one was Nikki plays the 46 and she just plays the 47 and she's like, oh no, that completes the row. Yeah, and because yours is higher than hers, you are technically the last person to play in there, so you get to use 5 cards again.
Good job. Good job.
And I love that they just cut to the end of there's no down to the wire last place. No, she got stomped.
No, I want to say Niku had 6 cards.
Yeah.
Midori had 2. I forget the other one's name. Ino?
Yeah.
Okay. And she had 7.
Or Aya or something. I forget.
Yeah, it's Aya.
Yeah.
Thank you. And, cut the pink-haired girl.
Yeah.
We'll remember her name eventually.
Yeah. Basically a full hand of cards. As if you drew 25 Uno.
Yep, you lose. And then she just tosses the cards, and I'm like, oh.
No, she did it in a way that's not
Yeah.
being an ass.
You know what? I win. Sorry. I lose. I fully admit I defeat.
And I also fully admit that this was fun. That's where I was like, okay, you redeemed yourself a little bit of my heart.
Yeah.
I was like, at least you can admit these are fun. They aren't just a waste of time.
And then she was like, I'm never giving up. But then when she left, she's like, I'll do it without you.
Yeah. She's just that to herself, though.
Yeah.
Which, I'm like, okay, maybe she'll leave them alone and just go on and do her own thing. Is more what that sounded like to me. Then I'm going to come back and keep bugging you, and we're going to keep playing board games until you lose to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's more
interesting.
Yeah, I'm not going to convince her to join my side.
I like how Midori explained her dream. Though.
Yeah. Midori's dream is to create a board game. And we get a backstory of her being brought to the store at a young age.
By her brother.
By her brother who worked there. And she had a fascination for all the board games. And would play with a few games with them.
Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Now, I spent a lot of my time at a gaming store. I would go every Saturday to play games with people. So I love that there's an anime just about that.
Yeah. But I like how at one point you said to me, I spent too much time working.
Yeah, like not just on like a Saturday. I would go in like odd days of the week, like after school, pop in and say hello.
I don't blame him.
Maybe not play a game with anyone, but just see who's around.
Yeah, fair. And what she says is she wants to create board games to create smiles on people's faces.
Yeah, that's what a board game's supposed to do.
Exactly.
All right, so we're 1/3 of the way through this.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm curious to see what the other board games we play are.
that'll be interesting. And I also think we're getting introduced to a new character.
Yes, we got introduced to I'll say German girl whenever we ended this episode.
Yeah,
She's like, board games? And she sounded like she had a German accent.
Yeah, it sounds German.
So, and because a lot of the board games originate from Germany and that's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And I look forward to seeing the next episode.
I do too. But until then, have a good one, guys.
Peace out.